The other problem is that I describe as a rather cruel sport on the part of government, is they encourage companies like mine to innovate and disrupt and provide solutions to things like AMR and repeat testing and what have you. But what I've now come to realise is that whereas a disruptive company like mine will point to huge savings for the NHS, and in our case, for instance, on retesting, it's 80 million. And when you look at the efficiency savings, it's 1.2 billion. Somebody, somewhere bigger, further up the food chain with greater influence is not going to make that money, because that money is being spent. It's got to be spent in order for you to save it. So I've had private labs say to me, we will not encourage use of your device, because if you reduce retesting to the extent you say you do, you'll knock £500,000 off our bottom line. Now, this lab, their main customer is the NHS. And when I said, what about your customer who needs to save money and treat patients? That's their problem. I have shareholders to look after. So unless those vested interests are addressed, and unless those people with influence and interest in those vested interests are taken away from advising government on how to do things, companies like mine are on a hiding to nothing. You know, it's a real struggle to try and pitch yourself against huge companies who have lobbyists, who have advisors in government and all this kind of stuff. That is a big issue that needs to be sorted out. I mean, you know, I have an imprint of a brick wall across my head because, you know, I've written to government, I've spoken and written to ministers, I have spoken and written to NHS leadership, I have asked this question at AMR conferences, and the question that at the time, the chair of an AMR conference where I asked about the vested interest, asked the panel who is going to take this poison chalice. So everyone knows about it, but no one's doing anything about it. All these, you know, so-called leaders and influencers and policymakers I've spoken to have not replied. Anything I have sent into Whitehall or the NHS has been flushed down the loo. So that's my biggest issue, is policymakers need to decide what they want to do. Do they want to save money and encourage disruption and innovation, or don't they? Because if they don't, then just, you know, save people like me our life savings and everything else that we put into generating new things and new business and disruption. Because, as I say, that is a cruel sport. I think it will get sorted out as long as it's addressed, which I am trying to do. But I didn't really arrive on this earth to have rows with politicians. I'll give it a go. The next need